A one-stop shop for members of the Mount Pleasant community is back online in a newly renovated space. Let's welcome back Stephanie Kelley, Executive Director for the East Cooper Community Outreach, or better known as ECCO. Glad to have you with us.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations on now you've finally opened the doors.
Yes.
This is a conversation we have been having for the last 5 years.
Correct. That's
amazing.
Right.
So tell us what's new and improved about this space.
Absolutely. So the best part is that all of our services are back under one roof. And for our clients and people that we serve, many of whom struggle to have reliable transportation or depend on friends to drive them, the fact that they can come to ECCO to pick up their food order, visit our clothing closet, and perhaps have their medical or dental appointment all in one trip is just so important, and make sure that they're not doing without.
Yeah, you know, and we should outline exactly what ECCO is, the services that it does provide. It is truly holistic.
That is the goal. We love that we're a one-stop shop providing essential services. That's a term we took over during COVID, but really trying to help people who are living at or below 250% of the federal poverty line to be sure that their children are not going to bed hungry. We help with emergency financial assistance if they can't pay the rent, so they don't get evicted and allow their situations to spiral out of control.
Unbelievable. Where do the funds come for those services?
It is all from the generosity of the community. And yes, we get some grants, but most of it is just from individual donors, family foundations, grantors in the area. And we have to raise about $2.4 million this year in order to meet our operating budget.
And now that we're starting to head into the holiday season, that's going to be a really important time for your food pantry.
Correct, absolutely. Matter of fact, right now our shelves are a little bit bare because the end of summer comes. A lot of the organized groups that like Boy Scout troops and stuff weren't together in the summer, so we didn't have a lot of groups bringing in food. And matter of fact, this past year we saw a 16% decline in the number of pounds of donations that came in. And I don't think that's because people are giving less. I think people are still giving, but everything costs so much more. So if you've always donated $50 worth of groceries, that $50 doesn't buy as much anymore, so you're not giving as much, which then means we need more people to be donating.
Most definitely. And what about local farmers, local growers? Do you accept produce and eggs and things like that?
Absolutely.
From them too?
We love when those things come through the door.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that would be another option. But ECCO itself, so tell us about the history of ECCO. This started from Hurricane Hugo to serve the community.
It was just supposed to be an emergency relief effort.
And look at it.
37 years later.
37 years later, yeah. So walk us through the evolution, if you could, just a little bit.
So our founder, Monsignor Carter, really it was just about trying to respond 37 years ago when there weren't systems in place to respond after a natural disaster, just to help people get back on their feet. But he spoke about the winds of Hurricane Hugo blew the blinders off of his eyes to the needs that were in our community before the storm ever hit. And that was his vision then is, okay, if people are struggling now, and they were struggling before, how do we create a place where people can find the help that they need? And so food has always been the primary reason that people came through our door, but Monsignor Carter's thought is, if you can't put food on the table, how are you taking care of your dental needs and your medical needs? And so it was always his vision that we would expand to those services as well. So in 1990, we started dental, and 13 years ago, we started our medical clinic.
Incredible. So people who have an ailment or they want to just check up, they can come walk through your doors.
So uninsured individuals who meet our income qualifications, that's correct.
Yes. What is the application process? How do you discern those who are truly qualified versus those who don't?
So there's some paperwork that people need to do, but it's a fairly easy process. A lot can be done online since COVID. We've made that possible. But so the income qualification is that the household makes less than 250% of the federal poverty guidelines. For all of our services, like food and clothing, you have to live or work east of the Cooper River, but our medical and dental services and prescription assistants are uninsured adults that meet that income qualification from the Tri-County area.
Okay. And I mean, it sounds like anytime you run a nonprofit organization or something of this nature, that getting the funds is always a bit tricky. So it's kind of amazing that you were able to make this renovation happen.
Absolutely.
When we talked about it 5 years ago, you had to start raising the funds and every step that it takes to actually build onto this building. So just tell us a bit about the funding that went into this and where you stand today, which is wonderful.
So we raised through our Beyond Our Walls capital campaign $5.6 million. About 80% of it went to the renovation. The great part is our donors have been paying their 5-year pledges in advance, and so we didn't even have to take out a construction loan.
Wow.
So thank you for asking this question. This whole renovation is completely debt-free and paid for through funds that people who donate to us regularly also said, I'll make a gift to help you improve your facility.
Well-oiled machine you've
It's
got
a very
going on there.
well-oiled machine. You have to come. We're doing tours
I would love
this
to.
month.
I absolutely want to see. Yes, in fact, you are having tours every Friday.
That's
Is that
right. Every Friday in September, we're called our community open house tour. So every hour, starting at 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., we will be taking people through so that they can see how the facility operates.
Yeah.
Whether there's someone that might need services, maybe someone who wants to volunteer, just somebody who wants to see the great construction work that got done.
100%.
You know, donors to be able to see how their money is used.
You allow people to keep their dignity throughout this process. And for anybody who wants to volunteer, those volunteer opportunities there as well?
Absolutely. And so all of that, you go to our website, ECCO Charleston, so ECCOCharleston.org. There's the ways to help, and you can find that out. It's also where you sign up to come to the tours. You don't have to RSVP, but we'd love to know who's going to join us.
Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.